Up first, we have Pong. This is the game that started it all. Of course, not only the arcade revolution, but also the dominance of Atari over the 70s and early 80s game market. No, it's not much to look at today, but anyone who knows anything about game history has to acknowledge the impact that it had. Number 2, Space Invaders. Space Invaders proved that a simple concept, if well executed, could captivate gamers for decades. Of course, I could just as easily have picked lots of other arcade classics from this era, Pac-Man, Galaga, etc. Even those of us who were born after these games came out have spent hours racking up high scores on them. Number 3, Donkey Kong. This was a first in a lot of ways, the first highly successful platforming game, the first appearance of Mario, the debut of Donkey Kong himself, and the appearance of Nintendo as a force to be reckoned with. It's a little primitive to play today, having been designed to eat quarters at a frustrating pace, but it's still easy to see why it's a watershed moment in video game history. Number 4, Super Mario Bros. This game held up amazingly well today, especially if you played the version of Super Mario All-Stars with updated graphics and the ability to save after each world. An 80s childhood is incomplete without countless hours spent searching for warp zones, hidden blocks, and the demise of Bowser. Number 5, John Madden Football. I'm not really a fan of sports games, but my younger brother and I played countless matches against each other on this classic. Of course, the original was much in need of improvement. You can have a great deal of success running fake punts every play, but it was fun nonetheless, and it launched a whole era of sports gaming. Number 6, Civilization. Of course, this is just one of several classic PC strategy games, but the genre deserves representation on this list. It was awfully hard to start a new civilization, or SimCity, or much later a family of Sims, without sticking around to see how everything turned out. Number 7, Doom. It's difficult to pick just one classic ID Software FPS. Wolfenstein 3D got the ball rolling, and the Quake games were great advances in technology. But it was Doom that showed the world how much fun first-person carnage could be. Also, it introduced the chainsaw, and the world of gaming was never the same. Number 8, Myst. Today, whenever you play a low-key, quiet puzzle game like Braid or Limbo, think back to this mysterious title that played it all. It hasn't aged well, but hopefully its spiritual successor, The Witness by Jonathan Blow, creator of Braid, will fix that. Number 9, Final Fantasy VII. This PlayStation classic might be the high point for RPG genre. It moved the Final Fantasy series into the next generation, and it finally stopped the confusing practice of releasing games in Japan and the Americas with different numbers on them. Enough said. Number 10, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. This game, like the equally wondrous Super Mario 64, proved that Nintendo could take its core series into the third dimension. They set a high bar for 3D console gaming right out of the gate. Arguably, that bar hasn't been cleared since. Number 11, Grand Theft Auto 3. For a fairly new game, GTA 3 doesn't hold up all that well. The mission design was frustrating, the lack of checkpoints and instant restarts is frustrating, and honestly, most people will never finish it. But that's not what sets Grand Theft Auto 3 apart from the pack. Rather, it offered you a whole world to roam around and wreak havoc in, and countless gamers were more than happy to take Rockstar up on that. Number 12, World of Warcraft. True, this game failed to hook me, but suffice it to say that I am in the minority. After 12 years and countless expansions, WoW is still going strong, and other developers are trying, with limited success, to ape the formula. For the Alliance! Number 13, Wii Sports. No, the Wii didn't turn out to be everything we all hoped it would be. Bummer, right? But this title brought new gamers into the fold, and it proved that motion controls could work. Now that Microsoft and Sony have released motion control systems of their own, complete with Wii Sports knockoffs, we know that Nintendo got something right.